All right. Now's your time to shine, Disbrew.
Pedro Pascal needs to just. Actually,
I'm sick of him.
Everybody
And let me tell you, listen, why does Pedro Pascal get cast and everything? It's because he's white passing.
Okay, here's
well,
the thing,
I know
though.
you've seen his like skills with a fluorescent light tube. That's got to count for something.
But this is why studios cast him and everything, because he looks like a white dude, and then they can they can say they can say, whoa, you know, we're doing diversity by hiring this Hispanic guy.
It's such a simple.
I mean, for me,
he is white.
No.
He kind of looks like a white dude.
No, he only does to the same way that you're like, well, Hermione's new casting means she's English. It's like, no, maybe to Americans, like, you can't tell the difference.
It's such a simple answer. Pedro Pascal is cast in everything because he's a.
Yeah. Well, yeah. My question is,
I may get arrested if I agree with that. So
not openly. I don't think he's openly gay.
No, he's not. He's not openly gay.
He's also not married and
doesn't need to be.
Yeah. But he
doesn't need to be openly gay. We know he's in the closet. Look at the.
But what was the last hit he had?
The Mandalorian.
The first season. The first
dildo
season,
in the ass?
No, the first season of
The Last of Us was a really big hit. Really
9 million views.
Okay,
dude.
on TV. Yeah. And what about box office?
Not on TV.
In
box office, I don't know.
I can't even remember. I don't know.
How did Wonder Woman 83 do, or whatever?
Well, it went straight to streaming.
Yeah,
it came out right when COVID started. Like they just opened theaters up. So
okay, I reckon his last biggest hit would have been
his last biggest hit was season 1 of The Last of Us. Had 8.9 million people watch.
No,
it,
but as a movie,
that's a huge hit, dude. What are you talking about? 8.9 million people. That's massive.
Yeah. But as a movie, I'm trying to make it would have been the Golden Circle. It would have been the Golden Circle, which is a nothing.
And the point I'm trying to make is that he's a better TV star than he is a movie star.
I agree with that.
I don't know why these studios are banking on him like they're doing.
Can you really say
he looks like a white dude, and then they can still claim diversity.
Yep, pretty much. And he's got the right politics. You know, he's
correct.
Yeah.
I mean, look what he said about, you know, Trump supporters being Yahtzees and nothing happened to him, but then Gina Carano gets what happened to her, right? So I do agree, though. He is better in TV. Like, he was in Narcos. Obviously, everyone remembers him because of Game of Thrones, which is obviously he acted before that. I know that. He acted since like the 90s or whatever, but everyone like knew about him because of him playing Oberon or Oberon or whatever his name is.
Is that because of his like personal performance, or is that the IPs which he's in, which give him the boost from the surrounding IPs?
I think honestly, it's just like he obviously got in with Game of Thrones. They took a chance on him. People like the character. Obviously, he doesn't stay long very, very long, and then he probably just got in with the right people. Like every time you see like pictures and videos of him, you know, he's like friendly with everybody, like everybody.
Yeah.
So, and like obviously we know, like when it comes to Hollywood, even the games industry, like it really is about like obviously who you know. So of course, like he just knows the right people, so he gets into things. Like now he's Mr. Fantastic, which doesn't surprise me because to me personally, when I look at the roles that Pedro Pascal takes, a lot of his roles are in some way they start off masculine, but then they very quickly become emasculated, if you will. Like
100% right.
You look at like The Mandalorian, right? Starts off first season, you're like, oh yeah, this guy's a badass. Season 2, you're kind of like, okay, there's some other female characters taking the spotlight, but he's still kind of there. And then by season 3, he just falls off a cliff, and then they're saying like, oh, anyone could be The Mandalorian. Last of Us, season 1, oh, he's pretty masculine. Season 2 starts, he's not really masculine anymore, he's dead. And now with Fantastic Four, as we know from all the leaks. Yeah, my bad. Go ahead.
Before Endymion was the one that brought up Star Wars.
We're not going to talk about Star Wars.
He was shit. No, hang on.
Stop.
Pedro Pascal was shit in all of everything that he's done. Everybody wants to say, hang on. Everybody wants to say that Pedro Pascal, oh, he's a good actor, but I just don't like him because of his politics. I don't actually think that he's actually that good of an actor. I don't think he's that good of an actor. I'm sorry, I just don't see
He's a good TV actor.
What?
Yeah, and
I mean,
I
look,
was
I
saying,
never watched Game of Thrones. So I don't know the Game of Thrones.
Well,
side
he's
of
not in
Pedro
that for too
Pascal.
long, so that's
Yeah, he
okay.
didn't have a lot.
Hey,
I forgot about Narcos.
I wasn't talking about Star Wars. Fuck you, Flash.
No, but you mentioned it.
It's full on Aussie time.
He Endymion was the one.
You
that
talk
brought
about
Mandalorian.
Star Wars.
No,
I'm
because
gonna
Endymion
play.
had finished, and you went, well, I don't want to talk about Star Wars, but...
And I
it was
didn't.
like, hang on.
And I didn't. I talked about Pedro
but
Pascal and how he.
You can just talk about another
I
topic.
don't think he is as good as what everybody says that he is. Everybody goes, he's a good actor, but I just don't like him. I don't think he's that good of an actor.
For me is like, I was very disappointed when I saw him as Mr. Fantastic, because that proved to me that the leaks about that movie were true. Because a lot of people that
we're gonna go over the leaks, though.
Yeah, like
we're gonna go over those.
Apparently, like
leaks.
you know, they were saying
Did
like
you see those
people
pictures
like
of
people
Pedro
like
Pascal making Keanu Reeves put his hand down? Keanu Reeves was waving to the crowd, and Pedro
No,
Pascal.
it wasn't Keanu, it was...
Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix, yeah.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
I
He's like,
didn't see
please,
that.
please, no. Yeah, people might think you're a German if you do that. It was like, I'm just waving to people.
Yeah, he must do like everything properly politically correct. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's the thing,
This,
is like-
this is why he does excellent in like effeminate roles, because what he really cares about is his social reputation. It's not about the principles, it's not about his actions, it's not about anything he does. It's just about how he's perceived in the moment, which is why he gets
100%.
on so well in Hollywood, because he is the kind of
He's a team player.
it's the kind of dark gray goo that will seep into whatever he needs to be whatever anyone needs him to be. There is no real Pedro Pascal. He is just the 50-year-old bougie bitch that will fit into whatever role you need
And
him
that's
to be.
why he gets away with the shit that he gets away with. When you look at the Gina Carano situation with like what he put out there during that time and what Gina Carano put out there during that time, if anything, his statement was worse. And that just goes
he
to
literally
show
called
how much
America and everybody Yahtzees, pretty much.
Yeah, he did.
Which doesn't even make
You
sense
even
from
had
a
the
historical
Yahtzee
point
symbols
of
and
view.
everything.
100%
It's just like
worse.
seeing him as Mr.
I
Fantastic
guarantee
tells
you.
me that it's 100%
And
going
what?
to be that
Hang
Invisible
on.
Woman is the main character.
And this is the thing.
Because
He
he's in
gets rewarded. He gets rewarded with The Mandalorian. He gets rewarded with The Last of Us. He gets rewarded with Fantastic Four. What the is going on? Like, seriously, what the is going on?
Well, you watch. If politics changes and like it turns more right wing, Pedro Pascal will say the correct right wing things. That's what I think. He will say whatever it takes.
Yeah.
To be the it guy.
Actually, you know
He's
what's
a social
interesting about
consensus
Pedro?
machine.
Did you hear the story about his father?
I did.
Isn't he
yes.
from like some lineage that like
I
ran
haven't
away?
fact checked it, but
So apparently, and yeah, I haven't fact checked it either, but it appears to be true, allegedly. The reason that his family fled Chile is because
Chile.
His, okay, who cares?
Chile. He's American.
His
Piss off with
father,
that foreign muck.
his father apparently did some crazy shit, stealing women's eggs and giving them to other people.
Wait, what?
Yeah, they had to leave that country because he was facing prosecution for pulling some crazy medical malpractice shit. So they had to flee
foreign allegations.
Yeah, they had to flee their country and come to America because of that. Wow. That's why he's a refugee and on the right side of history, because his father was a shady.
Oh,
that's why he changed his last name. That's not his real last name, Pascal.
Well, there was a weird way he pronounced it. Like one of the things, it was I am a Pedro Pascal. It was like really foreign pronunciation of the words. Like that is not the way an American would ever pronounce your name. And considering that's the country you're advertising to, why are you doing the most that you can to try and appear as foreign as possible? It was a really weird way to pitch yourself as an actor to essentially a native audience. And I don't know whether Americans often like really appreciate that's often done to them. But as a foreigner looking at American entertainment, it's like there is a really weird, almost privileged position that foreign actors have towards the American audience. They want to appear as like foreign as possible within the thing to appear like external or special or separate in some way. And Pedro plays that to the max, even the pronunciation of his own name.
Well, the funny thing is it's almost the same thing with John Boyega at the moment.
Yes.
You know,
well, he's done it for a
my
while.
son is going to be rich. Like, you know, that whole. I watched Robot Head's video in regards to.
I love Robot Head.
Yeah, he's great. We should actually get him on Flashcast.
I like
the strange thing about Boyega is whenever he fails in America, he comes over here and tries the same thing. And when he fails over here, he goes back to America and tries the same thing. And he just bounces between the two countries.
But I'm just saying, like, that seems to be all that it's about for those people. Is it's like the fame and the glory and the, you know, I don't know. Like, I look at Pedro Pascal. Everybody I come across says that, like, oh, he's a really good actor. He actually does really well. But, like, shouldn't that then mean that he's allowed to be in all of these things that we're seeing him in? Like, he's flooded everything. And it's like Tug said. It's like, I think it was Tug. I can't not see Pedro Pascal now because he's absolutely in everything that I watch.
The thing all you guys are getting wrong about this is you're putting it all on Pedro, man. At the end of the day, this isn't as deep as we're making it, guys. It's really not. It's the studios look at him like he's a name. He's a name that a lot of people know.
And he's gay.
He gets cast in a lot of things.
That helps him.
He's had hit TV shows. I don't know how that crosses over into movies, but whatever. They're looking at it from a money standpoint. They look at him as a safe bet, and that's it. He's a safe bet.
Well, he's got the right politics and he's got the right, like, headspace to be. And based on what we're seeing now, like, it's more and more evident that he actually is gay.